On Fox 9 News at 9. Well, the U.S. Education Secretary paying a visit to Minnesota. So what does he think that we can actually do to make sure that our children are getting the best education they can? Fox 9's Jody Ambrose is in our newsroom tonight with some of his recommendations. Jody?
Well, the U.S. Education Secretary made it clear during his visit he wants to reauthorize No Child Left Behind. That means coming up with a new policy to challenge schools across the country. Secretary Arne Duncan met with Congressman Kline at Crystal Lake School in Lakeville, Kline's home district. Kline, a Republican, is now the chairman of the House Education and Workforce Committee. Leaders pointed out although the elementary school they visited made significant progress under the No Child Left Behind Act, it still falls way short of the goals. Federal funding is based on meeting those strict standards. Both leaders agreed the system isn't working. They've already found some common ground.
We can either just sort of stand by and watch the next couple of years as more and more schools get labeled as failures and do nothing, or we can start to reward success and reward excellence, support those in the middle and challenge in the bottom. Why should we wait?
Duncan says he would like to reward success by giving schools more flexibility and resources. When asked about the large achievement gap in Minnesota schools, Duncan says the state hasn't been creative enough. He even suggested recruiting mathematicians and scientists to help teach in struggling schools. Congressman Kline says he'd like to see an increase in funding for special education, but he also says Republican leadership is committed to reducing spending, so they're going to have to look at priorities. Leaders from both sides of the aisle want to get started on an education bill very soon, although Kline says there is no timetable to complete it. Tim?
Thanks, Jody. Well, less than